Hello, good morning or good afternoon. I am Daniela Cuauhtemoc, a professor at the College of Geography at the National Autonomous University of Mexico, and today I will speak about the impacts associated with atmospheric rivers in the Baja California Peninsula, Mexico. To begin, Mexico is influenced by moisture from the Gulf of Mexico and the Pacific Ocean, the latter generating the main atmospheric rivers that impact North America. In Mexico, most atmospheric and climatological studies focus on extreme events linked to or produced by tropical cyclones or hurricanes, but atmospheric rivers in Mexico, being a particularly recent topic, had not been studied in sufficient depth in the country, and for this reason, this research aims to provide background on the present and impacts of atmospheric events in Mexico by analyzing case studies identified from October to April during the period from 2016 to 2021. The Baja California Peninsula is the physiographic region of Mexico adjacent to the state of California, USA, where various AR events had been identified. Due to the proximity between both regions, it's important to consider these events as part of the regional climatology. And about detection of atmospheric rivers, ARs are identified through satellite products such as Integrated Weather Vapor Transport, AVT, or Total Precipitable Water, TPW. Their study will contribute to risk management for hydrometeorological risk and hydrological events. It will provide scientific foundation for future research work about atmospheric rivers in Mexico. Well, in Mexico, detection and interpretation have begun by the Meteorological Service. However, this remains very inaccurate as atmospheric rivers are often confused with winter storms or other systems such as jet streams, and they are not closely monitored in general. Nevertheless, the presence of ARs or their occurrence can be verified by their significant impacts in both the United States and Mexico during the same periods when a river has been identified in California. An example of this is in February 2019, and this is an example where an atmospheric river impacted California and Baja California on the same days, but in Mexico the rains were reported as part of a winter storm and not specifically as an atmospheric river. In Mexico, during the 6-year period, 31 atmospheric river events were identified, with the states of Baja California, Sonora, Baja California Sur, Chihuahua, and other northwestern Mexican states being the most exposed and having the highest occurrence of AR. Development of rainfall and atmospheric river hazard warning systems are initial inputs to contribute to the management of hydrometeorological risk at the national level. When identifying the impacts caused by atmospheric rivers in this northwestern region of the country, a review of local news reports was conducted. It was identified that on several occasions when atmospheric rivers were present, rains were reported in cities such as Tijuana. And for example, this news report said rains in Tijuana caused crashes and slight contingencies in 2016. In the Baja California Peninsula, cities such as Tijuana and Mexicali are exposed to rainfall from atmospheric rivers. Another example of social impacts is on March 10, 2020, where suspended at all educational levels in the municipalities of Tijuana, Ensenada, Rosarito, and Tecate due to forecasted rain. On Tuesday, Mexicali experienced storms that caused traffic chaos, landslides, and flooding, prompting municipal authorities to open temporary shelters. Meanwhile, Tijuana saw nearly 100 incidents over 3 days due to rains and winds, including flooding, vehicle crashes, and electrical outages. And about impact classification, an empirical classification of reported impacts by local media was conducted, revealing that most impacts were due to the fall of objects from strong winds, intense rains or snowfalls, as well as floods or road waterlogging. Other impacts include landslides, river level increases, and the closure of a port or port activities. And it's worth mentioning that in Mexico, floods are common in the hurricane seasons, which is from May to November in the center and south of the country. But so having floods in the winter season is uncommon in general, but which may be caused by the area of this river in Baja California Peninsula. And yeah, that is why the climatology of the Baja California Peninsula is very different from the rest of Mexico, because Baja California Peninsula have precipitation or rainfalls in winter. Lastly, general conclusions. The Baja California Peninsula in northwestern Mexico is a region exposed to and impacted by rainfall, light or intense, related to the presence of atmospheric rivers from the Pacific Ocean, and the principal social impacts include the fall of objects due to strong winds or floods, as well as waterlogging or snowfalls. In my thesis project, I presented the importance of the precipitation caused by atmospheric rivers in Mexico, as well as some proposals for a classification scale according to the precipitation they produce on a scale of hazards for Mexico. And if anyone is interested, they can consult my complete research project about this for free on the UNAM thesis platform. And here is my contact email for any questions or collaborations. I am Daniela Cuauhtemoc, and thank you so much for your attention.